FORA.tv. The world is thinking.
So what happens when we're not taken seriously enough? Of course we hate it. One of the signs that we're not being taken seriously is if we're lumped into a category. That's why we hate being the victims of racism or sexism. You don't want someone to say, oh, well, they're baby boomers, or she's a single mother, or he's a Presbyterian, or gay, or something, as though that's all you need to know, just a member of a category. Of course, that denies our uniqueness as individuals wanting acknowledgement of our uniqueness as individuals. But if we're not taken seriously enough, it usually brings out the worst in us. Much anger in humans individually and in entire nations comes from feeling as if we haven't been taken seriously. I've already mentioned Nazi Germany. Germany between the two wars is a classic example, and there are others on the planet right now, of course, nations who feel they haven't been taken seriously enough and respond very aggressively to that. Occasionally, there's a happy ending to not being taken seriously. Ken Moroney, the recently retired Commissioner of Police in New South Wales, tells the story of his very first performance review as a probationary constable when the reviewing officer said to him, "Moroney, you're never going to amount to anything." And his response, of course, was to become commissioner in the end. Well, you hear those stories because they're so exceptional. What normally happens when young people, especially adolescents, young adults, are humiliated, ignored, marginalised, or exploited, is that they carry that as a wound which sometimes takes a lifetime to heal. There are, of course, people who respond to not being taken seriously enough by doing the job themselves. If you won't take me seriously, I'll take myself seriously. So hubris and arrogance can almost always be traced to early experiences of having been humiliated, mocked, overlooked, or belittled in some way. It's the desire to be taken seriously that explains why listeners are so highly prized in our society. Isn't it a wonderful gift when someone attends closely to what you're saying? Because, of course, the unspoken message is, I take you seriously as a person. That's why I'm listening. But, of course, the opposite is also true. If someone isn't listening, we know that the unspoken message is, I don't take you seriously enough to offer you the gift of my undivided attention. I think one of the most tragic things we hear in marriage, often from couples who've been married for a very long time, one or other partner saying, oh, he doesn't listen to me anymore, meaning he doesn't take me as seriously as he once did. We all need to know that someone is taking it seriously, even if it's only the dog. Some people do procure a dog so that when you get home after a rough day, at least one creature will wag its tail enthusiastically and appear to be taking you seriously. Perhaps counterintuitively, it's the desire to be taken seriously that also helps to explain why minorities thrive on persecution. That sounds like a contradiction of what I was saying about individuals who are humiliated, but persecution of ethnic or religious minorities never results in them shriveling up and just going away and saying, well, we've obviously made a mistake, let's do something else, let's be someone else. What always happens is faith is reinforced, ethnic identity is affirmed by the very fact of persecution, because if a group like that is being persecuted, they're being taken seriously, they're someone's target. It's indifference that's the enemy, not persecution. So the extent to which we're prepared to listen to each other, to make time for each other, to attend to each other's passions, even if we don't share them, the way we respond to each other's needs, even the way we make love to each other, all of these things send unspoken messages about how seriously we take each other.